So, this is my journey, my personal journey with my spirit, and then getting closer and closer to my creator, and then trying to hear the prompting from the spirit. And today's topic is the spirit gives witness. So if you have that spirit in you, and if you feel that you can hear the prompting, the spirit will give witness to Jesus. We are not able to fully understand who is Jesus in our own strength, intellect, and power. I have a problem here, I have to confess. I always think about everything through the intellectual mind. So if God is telling this, why the intellectual reasoning, or what is the logic behind it? That was the person I before. Like always, my intellectual mindset will go for answers with um, rather than fully submitting and taking that whole advantage of filling with the spirit and the creator helping me to do the things in the right way. So it's been a while that I am thinking about that intellect is disturbing me to avoid, like, it's help avoiding me to be fully surrender to my creator. So sometimes my core believes, and I could feel that spirit prompting, but my intellect is stopping. So if you feel like that, if you are a person like that, this is will resonate to you as well. So the Holy Spirit aids us in moving from our limited intellectual perception of who Christ is and He has done for us to a life changing understanding of Christ. So I'm actually reading this exact wordings from our segment sessions from the Goose TV series with Father who was giving that 30 minutes or like a 50 minutes video. So if you are interested to know more about it, just Google Goose TV, and the Goose TV will give you this 15 segments of Holy Spirit, and then how you can go inside and then find out how my spirit is working on it. So first question, and my answer is here: reflect on occasions where you understood more profoundly and personally who Jesus is. Discuss how you were able to see the Holy Spirit working. So, as I mentioned this recently, I went to a 3 day, 4 day sessions in Sydney, and then pondering on my life and my intellect and how that is actually helping me to wind down and thinking about the topic charisma. So, rather than going to the word charisma and what's the meaning and what's behind it, that's totally a separate segment I will share with you later. But today, I'm actually sharing the experience, the charisma experience. So when I was in that retreat, I would say it's more of like a personal time with God, finding out what are the skills that God provided to experience His love, His beauty, His awesome creation, and then His wonders. What are the things that God provided, and are we really using it? Are we really submitting fully to understand that humongous creation that He did and He's doing and He will be doing? And are we really limited with our intellect? That was the main thing that I was pondering in those 4 days. It was amazing how Holy Spirit is helping each and everyone to realize, going through their darkest moment, and then find out the Holy Spirit was there and helping us and taking us and comforting us, counseling us, all different feeling. So it was a real experience to be with God and share all our worries and all our anxieties. And I always feel like, I was not really nurtured properly. If my mom and dad hear this, they will really get offended, because I was like, everyone thinks and feels that I'm the one who got the best out of everything or everyone in my childhood, during my childhood, but I feel like, I haven't received enough, isn't it? It's a bit strange feeling, but I knew that it's the reason behind it, and I knew why I was feeling that all through these 4 days of journey. So I just want to see, like, how I understood profoundly. I am experiencing God in person, God in my life, and day by day. And it's more of like the feel like I need to refill. I need to get that encounter a bit more live, active, rather than thinking intellectually, okay, feeling that, yeah, this is God. All these things or discernments happening through the God. Rather than that, I need to really feel inside it. So that's what I experienced in my journey in those 4 days. So that's the reason I was just waiting for this session to come a bit later. So yes, it's a great moment that we personally experience God. I felt Holy Spirit is taking me to different people and then showing that my intellect is so silly, and then even though you go with your research and theories, God can prove everything is right. So the small experience that I had, I was in Sydney, I was having a confession, and then have a conversation with the priest, like, these are my worries, this is what I feel like. And I got a big list of items like this, and then I was telling, this is always with me, I feel like this, I feel like this, I feel people talking like this, I feel like this is not enough, I feel like I'm not doing this as a right thing, or this is not my right decision, whatever, all those things. And then he mentioned to me, you're too busy to do many things, you need to be still, and then you need to know who is God and what is he prompting. And I was like, yes, I know, Lord, I'm busy, but I need to do lots of things and I don't have enough time, so I'm rushing it. So that's why, you know that, and that's what I'm doing. Those are my answers to him in person, in silence. And then I was telling that night to God, this is really not good, because I know you will be telling all this. I know that you will say that because I'm so busy I can't hear, because of these, all those things. But I couldn't really feel that those answers that really coming from you. I believe that Jesus talked through priests and talked through other people. That's why I believe that that was you. And then I went to bed. The next day, one of my friends from US, it's not, I'm in Sydney, another person who doesn't know that I am having these conversations or going through this retreat from US, called me, and we were having conversation. And then she was telling me, so she was asking me, what do you think about it? So I told her, yep, pray for me please, I'm actually going through a bit of like a tough thing and I'm a bit confused. And then she just prayed, and like after a couple of minutes silence, she repeated exact words that this priest explained to me. It's a big wonder that exact, almost in exact order, all those 11 things that he was talking to me, these are the things that you feeling or I was talking about. And she was telling, you believe this lie, you believe this thing, you believe this thing, you believe this thing, these things are the real lies that you believe. You don't believe, although you don't feel how God is carrying you, how God is taking care of your things. And I really got amazed, because it's logical, right? Because God can talk to someone in Sydney and someone in US, and they both talk to me to prove me that your logical sense is so silly, because I am beyond the time, beyond the space, beyond everything, and then I'm looking after you. That's where I really got amazed, and I was literally crying while she was telling all these things. And then I was apologizing to God, saying, I'm not trusting you well, because I know that you are taking me everywhere. You are doing everything for me, but I'm not trusting you well. So I really I apologized and confessed for that, always being with that logical mindset rather than surrendering. And I really experienced that is the work of Holy Spirit to help me. Holy Spirit always showing me, look, you are doubting, but don't doubt. This is true. This is the truth. This is your true life. So that's what the experience, that's the real latest occasion that I experienced the Holy Spirit is really showing me and guiding me, comforting me to experience real Jesus, real God's power. I'm not sure whether you had experiences like this. I would love to share with me if you can. And this experience, I can't really imagine how on that specific moment in from two continents or two different part of the world sharing the same message for me. Then the next question: what are your concerns or anxieties about sharing your faith? So that's a good question to answer, because I actually got the same question today morning from one of my colleagues when I was telling about the story of my life, and I told like this is what I'm sharing. I used to share in my radio shows, and they asked, "Do you feel that people will backlash you to come back to you and then question you?" And I was telling that I don't really mind because I am telling what God is asking me to do. I'm telling my real stories, what I am doing now. So if you look at me before 10 years or 20 years, I may be, you may have different stories about me, but what I'm doing now is what my present moment. I'm dealing what the whispers I'm hearing. I'm doing what the Spirit asking me to do. And if that's what the reward or that's the backlash is what God wanted, I'm happy to accept that. So I don't have anxieties or concerns for sharing my faith and my love with other people, because that's from God. That's what God asked me to do. I am not thinking about the aftermath, but I'm doing what God is prompting me to do. I hope you have many different answers, but that's my personal opinion about it. Discuss the charisma and share experience of each element. So charisma got four elements in the God's love, that we are sinners, that Jesus came to rescue us, and the personal choice to follow him. So those are the four one. And as I mentioned before, charisma will come as a separate segment, and then I will let you know a bit more about it in a separate segment. So hope you enjoyed this one, the reflection on the topic, the Spirit gives witness. So if you have the real Spirit, you will be really available. You will be really bold to share your faith. It's not just in your workplace or in your community or in wherever you are. Maybe on the train while you are going. Maybe you are walking. Wherever you are, the Spirit will lead you to share and be a witness for Jesus, and you will get the power, because it's not you, it's the Spirit is doing it through you. That's what we learned from the New Testament. Like, don't worry what to say at that time. The Spirit will prompt you to do. So don't worry about anything. Just worry about only one thing: doing what you're doing to your core, what you're doing to your soul. Be filled with the Holy Spirit. We will come back again with the next segments. This is Bismi sharing spread love and joy and peace through my own show, Dominus Nisi, on this 88.9 FM.